Morning! It's race day. So I've just parked up. I'm about a 15-minute walk from Cantley Park, which is where the Wokingham half is. I'm ridiculously early, that's just me. I need a wee, so I'm going to have to go and see what they got. Right, so I've been to the race village, had a wee, had a little scope out. It's a glorious day, very cold, so I might wear my gloves to warm up and then see how I feel. And but other than that, it's pretty good conditions. A little bit windy, I'm sure the wind will pick up later, but other than that, couldn't ask for much more. Nice weather, no rain, cold day. Yeah, feeling pretty good. Slept 5 or 6 hours last night, which is better than I slept the previous 4 nights, so I'll take that. And yeah, just excited. It's a nice feel the buzz of just being at a live event again. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to use the bag drop. I'm only a 10-minute walk away, so I'm going to get changed at the car and do my little warm-up jog. So I'll see you after the race. Wokingham half, shiny medal and a shiny new PB. That was really hard. It was awesome, but really hard. My pacing strategy really paid off, I think. I'll break it down further when I get back home. I don't know exactly what my PB was. I know I crossed the line at the end in 1 hour 36 and like 2 seconds, but I think it probably took me about 30 to 40 seconds to get through at the beginning. So I think I got my A goal, which was to go sub 136, so really happy with that. As I say, I'll break it down further when I got home. It was hilly. I think basically I tuck in behind 2 runners, a couple. I don't know what time they were going for, but I picked them up at about 1k and basically stuck with them for 16, 17k. They were awesome. They left me for a bit and then I sort of picked them up after the first sort of 7k. I took the beginning of the race really quite conservatively. I set off with one of my club mates, Peter, because we said we were going for around the same time, but he's in the middle of marathon training and he's just a bit fitter than me, so he kind of left me after about 3k. I feel my heart rate sort of spiking, so I wasn't gonna keep up with him. But then basically, so I locked in behind this couple who I'd seen at 1k, and then I caught them up again at about 7k, and they were just metronomic. They were hitting full 30 kilometers and I felt good, felt strong. And then with about sort of 5-6k to go, we hit sort of the hilly section at the end over the motorway, the first motorway, and I could see them start to slow, and I just went for it, and and then it started to really hurt, and I sort of regretted it and thought they were going to catch me, but at that point I just kind of dug in. I think I hit a couple of slow kilometers, and then I think I sort of caught up with somebody, and I was sure I recognized her, and then I sort of clicked in, and it was Ben Parkes' his girlfriend, Sarah Place. She's got a YouTube channel, and basically I just got excited because I seen someone I knew, and then we sort of I sat behind her for a couple of kilometers, and at the end we were kind of sort of neck and neck towards the end. So thank you, Sarah. You really helped me to get a PB, and sorry I put on the spurt at the end and left you, and I'm also massive apologies to Ben and to Sarah at the end, because I totally 45-year-old fanboyed both of them, and Sarah was a bit of a mess crossing the line, and obviously her boyfriend wanted to talk to her and film her, and I completely ruined that by popping in and saying hello. So apologies, but thank you for all you do. You're both very inspirational people. So yeah, very happy. Wokingham half, achieved all the goals. I really hurt. Got to eat, got to stretch, got to do everything to recover massively, because I've got 2 weeks until I got to do it all again. But I'll break it down properly when I get home. But for now, thanks to the organisers, and if you ran today, then I hope it went really well for you, and I hope that you achieved what you achieved, and if not, I hope that you enjoyed getting out and about there. It was a gorgeous day, lots of amazing runners, lots of inspirational people running for various good causes. So. Okay, so this is the third time I've recorded this. Hopefully this will work. So I'm back, I'm showered, I've had my foot in an ice bucket for about half an hour because it's a bit sore, but hopefully it'll be okay. So I'm just going to flash up through the stats. Wokingham half, 21:24 in kilometres, so my watch didn't overmeasure it too much, although that 140 metres does affect pacing, obviously. PB of 1 hour 36:02, so I didn't quite get under 1:36. I just got confused when I was filming at the end there, but it's still a PB, which is great. So that's my B goal. Although I haven't got the chip time through, so I may just have ducked under 1:36. So average pace 4:31, a total ascent of 118 metres, which is actually slightly less than Fleet last year, so that's interesting. So I'll just have a quick flick through the stats to note. Average heart rate 179 beats per minute, so that's pretty epic. I was working pretty hard. Watts 381 watts. I'm still learning how to work with power. I think I need to do a couple more races, and then I can sort of compare and maybe extrapolate sort of what an ideal kind of race power should be and run to that as an experiment. And you'll see my stamina absolutely tanked by the end, so it was very much a maximum effort. If we look at time in heart rate zones, which is always a good indicator. So actually I managed there to stay in my threshold zone for 27 minutes, nearly 28 minutes, which is great. It's exactly what I wanted. And then because obviously once you get into above threshold, you can really only last for an hour, and you can see I spent actually an hour and 6 above my threshold, but obviously the watch may not measure it exactly. I didn't have my heart rate monitor on, and my zones may not be 100% right either. So I'll just flash through the laps quickly as well. So I paced it pretty well to begin with. So 20 meters in the first kilometer ascent, so I was kind of right there, but 4:46 was a good conservative start. My heart rate managed to sort of stay in the first 5k just about below threshold, 175 it reached up to by kilometre 5, which is probably a bit too high. But then basically by then I was kind of starting to say goodbye to my friend Peter. At kilometre 6 I got up to 190, and certainly by that point I was like, all right, I have to sort of slow down here a little bit. And by kilometre 10 I was still having to work quite hard. I was at 190 kilometres then as well, beats per minute again as well, maximum, average of 178, and I wasn't feeling great. But at kilometre 10 I sort of had my secret weapon in my arsenal. I turned on my music player, which I had with me. I had my Bluetooth headphones, and that basically kind of sort of distracted me from my own sort of pain, and was able to kind of lock into a much better sort of cadence, sort of running there as well. And actually, if we look at my cadence at this point, that's interesting. Yeah, so my run cadence was really high for the first 10k. It was over 190 at times, which is interesting because the alpha flies are quite heavy, but obviously my cadence is quite fast in them. And then you can see where I started the music about here. It basically locks into 183, 184, which was the tempo of the music. Yeah, so from sort of kilometres 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I was able to get into to a good rhythm. I was running behind this couple who were pacing it brilliantly. So I sort of went 4:29, 4:33, 4:22. We were downhill for a bit there. 4:31, 4:30. 4:40. I think we had a bit of traffic on that road, that section, and then we turned right and headed back, and sort of the straight mile, and the elevation was up straight away. And at this point I have to say I was struggling. I overtook the couple who I think were struggling worse than me, but all of the mental games started playing with me then. It was, you can stop, you can slow down. It doesn't matter about getting a PB. You've been ill, you've not slept. No one think all of them. It's remarkable. I'd completely forgotten how much you have to battle your own mind towards the end of a longer event. I think that's probably one better at 5Ks and 10Ks, because the event just doesn't last as long, and I don't have to battle my mind for that length of time. Whereas, I really it was very. I was ready to stop at several points there, and then at kilometre 19, I think I said I kind of caught up with Sarah Place, who's a running YouTuber, girlfriend of Ben Parkes, who's a massive running YouTuber, and we ended up sort of running side by side for a few kilometres, and that it was just seeing somebody I knew, even though she didn't know me, but somebody I recognised, just gave me that kind of burst of energy. Normally I would have my family down on the course, but it was tricky today with the sort of the parking was quite far from the venue. And it was cold, so they weren't there. And I didn't know many from the club. We have more people from the club there as well. So, just having that person, that familiar face, kind of got me through those last kilometres, really. So 4:24, 4:32, 4:23, I think we were literally running side by side as we approached Cantley Park. And I think Sarah got a PB by 3 seconds. So that's fantastic for her as well. And then the last little sprinty bit, I managed to thrash out in about 4:21. So it's the end of the day. I'm just out for a short walk around the block just to try and get some blood flowing back into my legs, basically. I've not done a lot. I've just sat around, ice bathed my foot a couple of times, which was extremely painful, but it's all good. Hopefully it's not like a major injury. I think it was just something I had before. So I got my chip time through, and it turns out I did go sub 1:36. You can put my time up. It was 1:35:57. So I achieved my A goal by 3 seconds. It's not a lot, but I'll take it. Just goes to show I pretty much knew where I was at, basically. I think I'm capable of going sub 1:35. Certainly with a bit of regular training, a bit of consistency over a decent period of time. So we'll see. I've got 2 weeks now until the Surrey half. I need to get rested. I need to get myself back to running again, probably to go for a run in a couple of days. It's potentially a faster course, so we'll see what happens. I don't know if I can take an entire minute off, but I will be hopeful, certainly fingers crossed, I'd be hopeful that I could go faster than what I did today in 2 weeks time, but I won't take anything for granted. Just going to try and maximise the next 2 weeks as best I can, really, along with a busy work schedule. So until next time, this is the end of the Wokingham half vlog, and remember, you're only racing yourself. Today I managed to win, but I'm sure it won't always happen like this. Take care, I'll see you in the next one.